Minute Play Crochet. I just wanted to take a minute to do a video kind of introducing myself, since I've had put some stuff up here on YouTube, but I haven't actually introduced myself, so I figured I'd take a second to do that tonight, talk about some of the stuff that I'm currently working on, and just let you all get to know me a little better. So my name is Rachel. I've been crocheting for 28 years, give or take. My grandma Mary taught me how to crochet when I was 6 years old, and she passed not that long after she taught me how to crochet. So I always thought that it was a really great connection to kind of have with my grandmother, even though she passed away when I was pretty young, to just carry on that tradition, that art, that craft. And it's just always been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. Yarn has always been in my life, for sure. And I'm really excited to be able to share it with everyone here on YouTube. I'm really having a lot of fun doing these. I hope that you're finding these yarn reviews and tutorials helpful, and I'm really excited for all the great stuff that's coming. I have all kinds of ideas, things that I'm working on right now, so stay tuned for that. But I will tell you a little bit about myself. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, grew up here. I've been here my whole life. My husband is originally from Indiana. We've been married for, it'll be 10 years this year. We have 4 little girls, and they are wonderful. They keep me busy. The 3 younger ones are all still pretty young. So that definitely keeps me hopping. So I do most of my crochet at night after they go to bed. That's when I do my filming, is at night after they go to bed. And it's just been a lot of fun. They love to see what I do, and they're always begging me to make them more things, which I think is a lot of fun. But I have a whip problem. I have way too many works in progress. Way too many. I actually piled them all up here next to me because I was like, oh, I can show you guys what I'm working on. And then I counted up all the things that I'm currently working on, and I'm pretty sure I have 7 things that I'm actively working towards finishing right now. It's too much. I love yarn. I pick up a new yarn. I see a new stitch. I want to work it up right away. I get to hooking on it, and then before you know it, I have a giant pile of uncompleted things. But I will say that I did finish something today. Yay. And I will show that to you. This originally, I told you guys I was planning on doing a baby blanket with. And I decided that I just didn't have the time to be working on three different blankets at once. Too many. So I decided to turn it into this really cute cinch sack for my kiddos. And I finished it earlier today, and they have been using it all day long. They're really happy with it. And I was able to pull out my sewing machine and get a liner sewn in there as well, so nothing will fall out the little holes or gaps that are in the granny square, because, you know, grannies have gaps. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I think that there's a few things that I would have done differently now that I've worked it up. I'd never done a cinch sack before, just kind of put it together off the top of my head. And overall, for a first attempt, I'm pleased with it. I'm happy with how it turned out. I think that I will definitely do a few things differently next time, but I am really pleased with it. Now that it's done, of course, I have, well, my youngest is 1, so she can't ask me for things yet, but my other girls are 7, 4, and almost 3. And of course, if one person has something, all of them must have something, and sharing is, what is that? I'm sure none of you know what that's like at all. So I have a feeling I'm going to be working up a few more of these in the future. Not immediately though. And I have some good ideas as to what I'm going to do this a little bit differently in the future. If you would be interested in seeing a tutorial on this, go ahead and put that in the comments. I'd love to know, since I am at some point going to be working on more of these. Let me know if you would like a tutorial on this, and I can definitely work on filming that so you guys can make some of these for yourself. So that's a finished object. That's exciting. Any day that we finish an object is a good day. All right, so let me show you what else I'm working on here. I guess we'll start with non-amigurumi things. I do standard crochet and amigurumi. So I usually have 1 or 2 projects in both kind of mediums working at the same time. But I'll show you my non-amigurumi stuff first since I just showed you the cinch sack. We'll keep it together. This is, I have a tutorial for this as well. This is the start of my star-crossed granny square blanket. And those beautiful colors, if you watch that Hobby Lobby yarn review, you can kind of see how those colors are coming together here. I'm really, really pleased with it. The yarn is nice and squishy and soft, and the pattern is just working up really, really beautifully. I have my color grid all mapped out, so I know exactly where my squares are going, and I really love the fact that it's join as you go. I hate hand sewing squares together, so I'm really happy with that. And you can see how the join has that pretty kind of twist between the colors, which I think is kind of fun too. That's a lot more subtle because those colors are a lot closer together, but you can still kind of see that. Sorry if my lighting's a little off here. So I'm working on that right now. This is the one that I'm the most motivated on. I really want to get this done. I really love the way that this is working up. This is what I want to grab for whenever I go to crochet. The hard part is intentionally setting this aside and working on things that I have actual deadlines for, because I do occasionally make projects on commission. And so I have a couple deadlines that I need to work towards. And so this beautiful thing is needing to live in the bottom of my basket so I don't grab for it every time. But this is what I'd say my favorite project is right now. And let me see. I'm working on this as well. This is not an original pattern. If you know Krista over at the Secret Yarnery, this is her mile a minute baby blanket. I started this for my 4-year-old, and she picked out all of the colors, and it is looking really beautiful. And it does work out very quickly, hence the name mile a minute. If you have not ever seen any videos over at the Secret Yarnery, highly recommend it. The edging here is really pretty with that kind of zigzag pattern. So I really like this one. This is another one that I would be quick to grab for in my project bag just because it works up super quick. And I love seeing my daughter's reaction every time I get a new stripe on. She gets so excited about it. So this has been a fun one to work up. Let me see. Let me see here. This is probably just a UFO. For those who don't know, UFO is unfinished object. I started this. It's really pretty. I made a bunch of squares like this, and I was going to do like a stitch sampler blanket. And I got a little frustrated with some of the squares that I was working up. I wasn't happy with the stitches, so I was planning on just getting rid of those squares and not using them, which is frustrating always. And then I don't like this yarn. I never really liked this yarn to begin with. And the more I worked with it, the more I just was like, I don't want to work with it right now. So this is Big Twist Big Twist? I think that's Joann's. Yeah, it's Joann's. It is their brand. Saver yarn, discount yarn, value yarn. I think it's called Big Twist Value. I think that's what it's called. There's nothing wrong with it. I like it better than Red Heart. Red Heart is really scratchy. This is softer than Red Heart, but I feel like it's fuzzy and pilly, and I'm picky about pilly stuff, guys. I'm not a person who likes fuzz on their yarn, just because anyways. Oh, if you've seen some of my other videos, you've seen me talk about how I want things that I can throw in the wash 1,000 times and not be anxious about. And not that there's anything wrong with bargain acrylic, but I feel like bargain acrylic wears pretty quickly when you're washing it regularly. And so that's just, it's not my favorite. It's soft. It's okay. If you can see, can you see the... I'm using my forward-facing camera here, so you might not be able to see. Can you see the fuzz? I haven't even washed this, and it's already getting pills on it. It's okay. It's okay. Not something I want to make an entire blanket out of, though. And certainly not something that I want to spend that much effort on to have in my living room if I'm not in love with it. You know what I mean? So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with these squares. I think I have like 7 or 8 squares total in different stitches using this yarn. So if you have an idea for what I can use those for, put that in the comments, because I need some inspiration and I hate to just not do anything with it. My kids have enough Barbie blankets. They don't need more. Yeah, so that's this. The stitch is really pretty. If you like this stitch, let me know and I can do a tutorial on this stitch. It's very, very simple. It looks complicated and difficult, but it's a 1-row repeat and it's just double and single crochets. I really like this stitch a lot. This stitch is a lot of fun to do. It works up pretty fast and it has a really pretty pattern to it. So if you're interested in seeing a tutorial on this stitch for the green granny square, or this isn't, in my brain, grannies always work from the center out. The green square, I'll just call it the green square. Let me know, and I can get to working on that as well. Let's see here. Oh, this one. This is, if you can see the little hood on there, and I was working on ribbing around the edge. This was intended to be a newborn sleep sack, if you've ever seen those online. I was not following a pattern. I was just working this out of my own head. I did my center panel corner to corner, and then I was doing a as you go rib stitch, because I hate doing big strips of rib stitch and sewing them on. Can you sense a trend with me? I don't like sewing. So that's what I was working on. I was going to do a rib stitch all the way around. And then I had these buttonholes here. So I was going to sew buttons on it so you could button it up and have a cute little newborn sleep sack. It's the yarn again. It's that same brand of yarn. I bought a lot of it at one point because I had a particular project in mind and didn't have the money to buy the yarn that I really wanted. So I bought a bunch of that yarn. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm out of love with it. This is probably a UFO. I gotta think about what to do with this though. If there's a way for me to resurrect this. Because I am pretty close to being finished with it. I just need to finish the ribbing around. And sew some buttons. And it will be done. And I mean, it was turning out really cute. If you can kind of see that. I know it's maybe a little hard to see. I really liked the C2C for the paneling. I thought it looked really nice. I really enjoy doing a C2C. So if you ever want to see a C2C tutorial or corner to corner tutorial, let me know. I can do that too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just in love with it. I was having a lot of fun with the stitching and the pattern, but the yarn just made me fall out of love with it. So maybe the answer is I buy yarn that I really want to work with and make something baby out of that. And then do a tutorial for that. Because this really is a fun pattern. And I love it when I can just get those creative juices flowing and it just kind of comes out of my brain and into my hook. So we'll see. We'll see. Oof. Maybe I'm just showing my dissatisfaction with some of the stuff that I'm working on. I get like that. Do you ever get that way where you're just like, you have one thing in mind and that's like the only thing that you want to do? And right now for me, that's star-crossed granny squares. Like that's the only thing that I want to crochet right now is star-crossed granny squares. And obviously that can't be the only thing that I make, but it's always in the back of my brain like, you should work on that blanket. You should work on that blanket. And I need to do other things too. All right. But 7 whips is excessive. So I will show you a couple of things Amigurumi related that I'm currently working on. And I did start filming this as a tutorial. I need to finish it. Working up a granny square for the Lovey skirt of a bunny Lovey that I'm going to do a tutorial on. So, and this needs to get a little bigger. It is still a little small for a Lovey. I want it to be a little bit wider so it has a better drape to it. Really happy with how this is turning out. I've made this exact pattern before. Again, just out of my brain, I'm not following a set pattern, so I can't direct you to that. But that's why I was thinking about doing a tutorial on it, is because I'm already working on it. And if I can just film it for you guys, then you can make your own bunny Loveys. So I am working on this. I am happy with this one. I'm not bored with this one. I'm not irritated with this one. I'm using my favorite Amigurumi yarn, Lorena Worsted, for this one. And it's turning out nice. So once I get done with the skirt, I'm going to make the bunny head, arms, and ears all out of the same yarn. And then I'm just going to do a contrasting color border around the bottom edge of the skirt. So that's how that one is going to go. And then as far as amigurumi things, I'm getting my yarns tangled here, pulling out all the stuff that's still connected to skeins of yarn. Oh, hold on. Oh. Okay. I think I'm untangled enough. So this is the body of a little doll that I'm currently working on. This is a commission doll. This is not my original pattern. I will put pictures up here so you can see what my other finished dolls have looked like when I've gotten them done. And I will put in the description box the link to this pattern as well. It is a free pattern on Hobbies. Is it Hobby or Hobie? It's a yarn company. It's a free pattern off their website. So I will link that down there too so you can see what this all looks like. These dolls are really fun. I put doll wire in the middle, so this is just missing a head. My poor decapitated doll. So I like to use doll wire through the body and through the head of my dolls to make sure that the head doesn't get floppy. But it's been working up really nice. I've been using Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. Ooh, that's shiny. Can you see that? Can you see the stitches? Forward-facing camera's not wanting to focus, but I think you guys get the gist. This has been working up really nice. I love this cotton for amigurumi projects. The stitches are nice and even. There isn't too much stretch, so when I stuff it, I don't feel like I'm just stuffing and stuffing and stuffing. And it gives a really nice body shape to it. So I am planning on doing some amigurumi tutorials as well. Not for this, because it's not my pattern. But I do really love to do amigurumi as well. I can't do it as quickly as I can with just standard crochet patterns because I do struggle with my fingers and my wrist a little bit. I had surgery when I was a teenager and the tiny little tight stitches bother me after a little bit. But that is what I am currently working on for a doll. And then I think that that's it for whips. I sure hope that that's it for whips because that's plenty. I'm trying to think. Some other things that I've been thinking about working up in the back of my head. I have an idea that I haven't actually tried yet for a bead stitch granny square. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the bead stitch, but I am kind of trying to think through that and see if I would be able to work that up into a pattern and do that for you guys. I'm not a big granny square kick because my kids are so young that they always want to be on top of me and into what I'm doing. So if I do happen to crochet during the day, it's a lot easier for me to just grab a granny square, do some stitches on it or a round or two, and then set it down when the kids have lost their patience for that. So, got some granny squares in the back of my mind. But I think that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any questions for me? Anything that you want to know about me? Yeah, that's kind of the basics. I've been stay-at-home mom since my oldest was born 7 years ago, and now I am really having a lot of fun working on these videos and getting to know you guys a little bit better too. Yeah, I don't really know what else. I might have to do a 5 things you don't know about me video or something like that at some point. But for right now, I think that that's it. What do you think? What do you guys have in your hook? I want to know. I'm curious. I'm interested. I always love to see what other people are working on. I'm sure I'm not the only person who can like just endlessly scroll through Instagram just looking at all the beautiful things that people are creating. I love to see what other people are doing, what their brains are dreaming up, and just the whole creative process. So if you have something that you're working on and you're excited about it, be sure to comment. Other than that, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I will have more videos coming up soon, probably another coming out yet this week. And in the meantime, we will just go from there. But either way, I'm really glad you're here. Thanks so much for subscribing to my channel and liking those videos and leaving your comments. I've really been having a lot of fun getting to see some of your faces or your profiles in the comments, and seeing how our little baby community is growing, and hopefully it will continue to grow from here. I am here to serve you as best I can, so if there's anything in specific that you would like to see from me, don't hesitate to let me know. But other than that, I think we will leave it there. I've talked a long time. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and in the meantime, we will talk soon. Bye.